mainstream media is out of control, and you know that, and it's beyond repair. It is beyond, you know what? Honestly, you know what the mainstream media is? It's like excuse my language, a damn Apple product. You get an Apple product, and you buy it, and it breaks, and then you take it in, and then they listen to it for some reason. And you're like, there's no moving parts in there. What are you listening to it for? And then the guy in the t-shirt, in the black t-shirt, who's about 12 years old says, oh, sorry, we're not going to be able to fix that. You're just going to have to buy a new one. That's the mainstream media. It's not fixable. You're going to have to buy a new one. The mainstream media has missed the biggest story of possibly the last 100 years. You. It has denigrated you, it has dismissed you, it has miscast you, it has tried to discourage you every step of the way. But it has never recognized what you've done. Historians will, but the mainstream media will not. The mainstream media is connected to their agenda, not to the actual news. When we first figured this one out, I went to CNN and I watched it work. And then I went to Fox and I watched it work. You don't want to see how the news is made because there are too many people that are beholden to too many other people. Too many deals have been made, too many favors have to be repaid, too many people are offended by X, Y, or Z, and so it's watered down or it's not told. But you truly are the story. That doesn't further anybody's agenda except yours. But that's the important agenda for America, the American people's agenda. So when I started TheBlaze, I started it right after Restoring Love. We launched it the day after Restoring Honor. We launched it the very next day. And the reason why I launched it, quite honestly, was I needed to pay for much more research. I think I'm the only one that's ever worked at a major network and lost money. Because I paid for most of my own research. Because Fox couldn't keep up with the volumes of research that we needed to do. And so we hired our own research department. And the only way my business partner would let me do it, because he kept saying, Glenn, my job is to make sure you're not living under a bridge at the end of all of this, is we developed TheBlaze to pay for the research that we were doing. And there was another extra benefit. If we could put a website together where people would go to the news, then there would be another voice, not just mine. There would be other journalists that we could eventually hire that could be brought in that would look and say there is no agenda here except for truth. I told my editors this morning, don't tell me the stories that I want to hear on the election. Don't write the stories you think I want to read. Don't write the stories that everybody else is writing in Afghanistan or in Libya or in Egypt. Tell me the truth, the hard, uncomfortable truth that maybe we don't want to hear. It's not good enough just to tell you the truth. Now we need you to use your voice. Now you need to be able to see a story and then say, if I believe in these things, what action steps can I take? So the news becomes a way for you to inform yourself and then move things forward. So as of today, as of about an hour ago, we made some changes on TheBlaze. And this is the very beginning of it, and you're the first to see it. And it is live now on TheBlaze. But do we have my iPad? Where's my iPad? No, thank you. Thank you. By the way, this is Matt, who I've kept up. He works with Freedom Works, and we've kept him up for days and days and days. There we go. Okay, so here's the front page of TheBlaze. I want you to know that FreedomWorks is our first partner on this. I chose FreedomWorks because I have watched them for a very long time. As you know, I don't trust anybody in politics, and I make a solemn vow. If FreedomWorks ever goes awry, I will rat them out, and I will tell you. If they ever start to be about power and politics over the truth, we'll be done with them. But I will tell you that I have watched these people struggle. I have watched these people fight. I have watched these people stand. Someday, you and I are going to have a long talk about what I have seen these people do, what I have seen them endure. When we talked about finding a partner, there was nobody that came to mind except for FreedomWorks. And in the last year, what I have seen them pull off and accomplish, and their integrity, there is no one but FreedomWorks at this point to partner with. But if you go now to the Blaze, you're going to see all kinds of stories that are going to really hack you off, like the new Obama ad that says, yes, we're better off than we were 4 years ago. Say the Chinese. Let's see. Chris Matthew, Romney's decision to run against Obama is arrogant and showed a certain kind of disdain. And we'll be nice to the senile. There are stories here that will really hack you off, and we want to show you a button right up on the front page. Take action. Now, some of the stories that are on this page already have it, but it is my goal that whether it is a story about a hurricane that hits, in that story will be a button that says take action. If it's a hurricane, there will be all of the local aid stations that you can donate to, the charities where you can get involved, anything that will help you get involved. If it is a story about politics, you'll see these, who's surprised he's up at the top of our Take Action page? You will see these stories today if you go right now, and there's many, many more to come, but this will be on every story. If you see Protect the First Amendment, this is a story that when you click on the story on The Blaze that talks about how it's this stupid film that is causing all of this, and you know the truth that it's not, you will know I've got to stand for the First Amendment. I've got to stand for the Constitution. You'll click Take Action on that story, and it will bring you here. Protect the First Amendment. We just put this up, and 3 letters have already been sent. These are, this is a way for you to put in your zip code. You'll use your zip code, and it will tell you all of the different things that will take, first of all, letters to the editor. If you want to send a letter to the editor, yes, that should be Dr. Beck. Thank you. Okay, you can compose your letter here. I didn't want talking points. We did put message points, but I didn't want a letter that everybody else always just puts a letter and you cut and paste it. I think that's garbage. You're an individual. If you want to know some things that are important to help you, then you can write it over there, but I don't want you to cut and paste. Use your own brain and write the letters to the editor. You hit the send. There's your first thing. You can see the Defend Wisconsin reforms. This is on a story that's on The Blaze now, where they are now going into the courtroom and saying, we don't care what the people say. Right now there are 4 pieces of action that you can take. Because if you're like me, what you do is you read a story and you get all wound up about it, and then you're like, I got to call my congressman. And then you never do, because by the time you go find his number or you do it, you've forgotten about it. When you click on the Take Action, it'll have your zip code there. You put your zip code in, it will give you all of the phone numbers, all of the addresses. In time, it will also say, In time, it will also say, when you send a letter or you take an action step, it will then chart where you are and say, Susan, there are 19 people that live within a mile of you that think the same way. Would you like to connect with them?